What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Monday, April 6, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. I hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. The ultra-action sequel Furious 7 exploded for an April record of $143.5 million in its U.S. box office debut this weekend, the year's best and by far its most emotional, thanks to the presence of the late Paul Walker. Furious 7 was in a market-high 4,003 theaters across the nation and dominated. Home, the DreamWorks animation family film that opened at number 1 last week, held up well and took in a solid $27.4 million for second place, but finished roughly $115 million behind the leader. The other studios cleared out and no other movie opened wide. Furious 7 was in command overseas as well, finishing on top internationally with $240 million from 63 foreign markets. Combined with the domestic haul, the action epic ranked up an eye-popping $384 million at the worldwide box office this weekend, nearly double 48% the global haul of Fast and Furious 6. It is also the fourth highest global total ever, behind two Harry Potter movies, The Deathly Hallows, $483 million, and The Half-Blood Prince, $394 million, and The Avengers, $393 million. The powerful showing both at home and abroad capped the franchise evolution from a cop versus criminal saga set in the world of street racing into an ultra-action series featuring an elite unit fighting terrorists in exotic locales. The shift was in part to boost its overseas, and Fast and Furious 7, as its title abroad, clearly benefited. It was shown in 3D, a first for the series. The Furious 7 domestic opening was a stunning $25 billion higher than analysts and the studios had predicted, and fans turning out to honor Walker, the 40-year-old actor killed in a fiery car crash while the movie was shooting in November 2013, had a lot to do with that. Vin Diesel, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Tyrese Gibson, and newcomer Jason Statham did too. The Furious 7 audience reflected that its multi-ethnic cast, Hispanics made up of the majority of the crowd at 37%, even higher than the 32% that led the last two Fast and Furious films. Caucasians followed at 25%, and African Americans were next at 24%, and Asians made up 10% of the audience. It was an even split gender-wise, with men at 51%. There was no missing the impact of Walker, however. The cast and crew repeatedly dedicated the film to him, and its "One Last Ride" tagline was a reference to the memory of Walker, who was replaced by his brothers Cody and Caleb, and computer images in several scenes filmed after his death. Furious 7 opening is the best in the history of the 14-year-old franchise, well ahead of the $97 million of 2013's Fast and Furious 6. With schools and colleges out for Easter and spring break, moviegoers under the age of 25 made up 44% of the audience, which awarded the film an A cinema score. It's at a strong 82% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a bouquet for director James Wan, who took over for Justin Lin. Writer Chris Morgan has scripted all 7 films. Sensational action sequences have become a series staple, this including a scene in which the team parachutes their car to perfect landings from a cargo plane flying 2 miles high, and Furious 7 got a big boost for fans who took in on great screens in record-breaking numbers. The R-rated Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart prison comedy Get Hard was third with roughly $13 million, a steep 62% drop from its opening, and raised its domestic total to $57 million for Warner Brothers. Cinderella and the Divergent series Insurgent was neck and neck with $10.2 million and $10 million respectively. The Disney fairy tale is up to $167 million domestically after 4 weeks, while Lionsgate's young adult sci-fi tale is at $103 million after 3 weeks. The R-rated teen horror film It Follows got an aggressive 437 theater boost to 1,655 locations from Radius and Dimension, and took in $2.4 million to up to its domestic total of $8.5 million after 4 weeks. Showtime's Twin Peaks revival joins the weekend holiday edition of Hollywood's Bad News Dump. Veteran director David Lynch revealed Sunday that he has dropped out of the cult series reboot after he and the network were unable to reach terms of contract negotiations. Lynch wrote on his special personal Twitter account, "After a year and 4 months of negotiation, I left because not enough money was offered to do the script the way I felt it needed to be done." He also continued a string of tweets. "This weekend I started to call actors to let them know I would not be directing. Twin Peaks may be very much alive at Showtime. I love the world of Twin Peaks and wish things could have worked out differently." Showtime issued a statement to the Wrap shortly after Lynch broke the news. They wrote, "We are saddened to read David Lynch's statement today since we believe we were working towards solutions with David and his reps on the few remaining deal points. Showtime also loves the world of Twin Peaks, and we're continuing to hold out hope that we can bring it back to its glory with both of its extraordinary creators." David Lynch and Mark Frost at its helm. News of the series revival was first revealed by Lynch back in October 2014. "Dear Twitter friends, it's happening again," he wrote. Series creators Lynch and Mark Frost were both on board to write and produce all 9 episodes, and Lynch was on board to direct all the episodes with a premiere date slated for 2016. Kyle MacLachlan, star of the original series, was also headed back to the sleepy fictional town to reprise his iconic role of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, as well as original Twin Peaks resident Cheryl Lee and Dana Ashbrook. Cheryl Lee played both murdered homecoming queen Laura Palmer and Maddie Ferguson, and Dana Ashbrook played Bobby Briggs. The casting announcements were made during the Television Critics Awards Winter Press Tour in 2015. Lynch wrote in October his first tease of the return, "Dear Twitter friends, that gum you like is going to come back in style. Hashtag damn good coffee." The original series, which ran from 1990 to 1991 on ABC, centered on the murder of young woman Laura Palmer in the titular fictional Washington town. The revival will take place in present-day Twin Peaks, continuing the lore of the original series. The Showtime and Twin Peaks teaming was a mutual love fest back in October, with the network's chief and Lynch and Frost expressing how psyched both parties were to be bringing the series back to life. Giuliana Rancic appeared on NBC's Today Show on Monday to tell her side of the fashion police fiasco that offended actress Zendaya Coleman and sparked Kelly Osbourne's decision to quit the show. Rancic explained, "I made a reference to the hippie culture. I talked about petroleum oil, which is a hippie perfume, and the editing process. Some of the gestures I made and some of the things I said were taken at a time." She also added, "I made peace. I said bohemian twice. Those were taken out of time, and so when the joke aired, some people were offended by it." Zendaya immediately fired back in a lengthy Instagram post after the segment aired. She wrote, adding, "To say that an 18-year-old young woman with locks must smell like patchouli oil and weed is not only a large stereotype but outrageously offensive. Certain remarks cannot go unchecked." Osbourne took to Twitter to support the Disney Channel star and threatened to leave the E! show. Osbourne wrote, "I do not condone racism, so as a result of this, I'm seriously questioning staying on the show. I'm giving everyone involved 24 hours to make it right, or the world will hear how I really feel." Both Osbourne and Kathy Griffin have left the show since Rancic apologized for the incident. Rancic, who confirmed an earlier behind-the-scenes account told exclusively by the Wrap, told today's co-host Savannah Guthrie that she finds racism reprehensible and doesn't tolerate it at all. She also added, "I think that's really important for me to get that out there, because that's been the hardest part of all this, that someone could believe that I would have racial undertones in the things I do. Absolutely not. I see why people took offense. I thought the joke was not edited in the proper way, and that's just something I have to live with." The Association of Professional Flight Attendants is urging actress Nicole Kidman to step down as the new brand ambassador for Etihad Airways. According to an open letter posted on the APFA's website, the United Arab Emirates-based Etihad is notorious in the airline industry for, quote, "discriminatory labor practices and deplorable treatment of female employees." Etihad is a regressive company that seeks to return our industry to its darkest ages. The letter reads. It goes on to cite reports that the airline has fired female employees if they become pregnant and forced them to live in secure compounds. The Oscar-winning actor is best known for starring in Moulin Rouge and The Hours, among other major Hollywood productions, serves as a UN Women's Goodwill Ambassador, and the APFA used her own words to allege hypocrisy by working with Etihad Airways. Kidman once said, "Imagine a world free from violence against women and girls. A world where equality and respect and justice are not just ideals, or possibly for only a few women and girls, but not the norm for all of us." The letter concludes, "We urge you on behalf of the women and girls that you spoke of so eloquently not to play a part in promoting Etihad Airways, a company that imposes abusive labor practices on its female employees." Etihad Airways has since responded by saying, "Our commitment to the welfare, safety, and well-being of the diverse group of men and women who have worked so hard to make Etihad Airways great is one of our airline's top priorities." Daniel Craig is spending his spring Spectre film break getting and recovering from arterioscopic knee surgery, according to the Associated Press. Producers of the newest Bond film told the AP that Craig underwent a minor procedure during the blockbuster Easter production break. The Guardian reported in February that Craig sprained his knee while filming action scenes for Spectre in Mexico. On Monday, Eon Productions said the franchise's latest Star Spy will rejoin the movie on April 22nd when it resumes at Pinewood Studios in England. Spectre marks Craig's fourth role as Agent 007 James Bond. His other time in the tux were 2006's Casino Royale, 2008's Quantum of Solace, and 2012's Skyfall. The latest installment begins with a cryptic message from Bond's past, which sends him on a trail to uncover a sinister organization. While M battles political forces to keep the Secret Service alive, Bond peels back the layers of deceit to reveal the terrible truth behind Spectre. Directed by Sam Mendes, Spectre also stars Christoph Waltz, Dave Bautista, and Ralph Fiennes. Craig has two additional coming Bond films, The Girl Who Played with Fire and Bond 25, listed on his IMDb page. Amid swirling controversy, Rolling Stone has officially retracted its story about a gang rape at the University of Virginia. The announcement follows a report issued Sunday by the Columbia Graduate School of Journalism and commissioned by Rolling Stone. It found that the publication failed to conduct, quote, basic, even routine journalistic practice in confirming the account that source Jackie gave to contributor editor Sabrina Rubin Ellerly for a story of rape on campus. The report stated the failure encompassed reporting, editing, editorial supervision, and fact-checking. The magazine set aside or rationalized as unnecessary essential practices of reporting that, if pursued, would likely have led the magazine's editors to reconsider publishing Jackie's narrative so prominently, if at all. In an interview about the findings, Rolling Stone publisher John Weiner said that Elderly, along with manager-editor Will Dana and Sean Woods, the editor of the article, will continue to work for the magazine. Weiner described Jackie, who claimed to have been raped by several men at a Phi Kappa Psi fraternity party in September 2012, as a, quote, a really expert, fabulous storyteller, according to the New York Times. He added that he didn't want to blame Jackie, but that, quote, obviously there is something here that is untruthful and something sits at her doorstep. Warner said that Elderly was willing to go too far in her efforts to try and protect the victim of an apparently horrible crime. She dropped her journalistic training, scruples, and rules, and convinced Sean to do the same. There is this series of falling dominoes. In a statement, Elderly offered her deepest apologies to readers, colleagues, the campus community, and victims of sexual assault, the Times reported. She wrote, "Reporting on rape has unique challenges, but the journalist still has the responsibility to get it right." She also added, "I hope that my mistakes in reporting this story does not silence the voice of victims that need to be heard." Popular soap opera veteran Cameron Mathison will be joining Entertainment Tonight as a full-time correspondent and weekend co-anchor. Two insiders familiar with the negotiations told the Wrap. The former All My Children star's duties will include red carpet interviews, celebrity sit-downs, and weekend shows co-anchoring for the top-rated syndicated CBS television news magazine hosted by Nancy O'Dell and Kevin Frazier. Further details on Matheson's exact start date are unclear. He joins ET's correspondent team that includes Brooke Anderson and newest hire Nichelle Turner, formerly CNN's on-air entertainment reporter, both of whom are based in Los Angeles. WME, which reps Mathison, has not yet responded to the rep's request for comment. A spokesperson for Entertainment Tonight confirmed Mathison's hiring, but said there were no further details. According to one insider, Mathison's hiring is a move on the show's part to boost its female 25 to 54 demographic, with the daytime hunk grew sizable fan base within during his longtime run on ABC Daytime. Mathison previously appeared as a guest correspondent on Entertainment Tonight, and in addition to hosting stints on Extra and Good Morning America. Mathison spent a combined 13 years on All My Children in the role of Ryan Lavery until the soap was canceled in 2011. The actor will be featured alongside former Days of Our Lives star Allison Sweeney in the upcoming Hallmark Channel original movie Murder, She Baked, a chocolate chip cookie murder mystery. In the TV movie, Mathison plays a homicide detective who sparks with a baker as he investigates a small-town murder in the film, which premieres May 10th. Sia and Wiz Khalifa will perform their songs from film soundtracks next week on NBC's 2 telecasts of The Voice. Sia, an advisor to coach Christina Aguilera in 2011, will perform Elastic Heart on April 7th, and Khalifa will perform See You Again with past voice artist Chris Jamieson on April 8th. The song is the lead single for the film Furious 7. Khalifa performed Payphone with Maroon 5 on the show in 2012. Sia's Elastic Heart, featured on the 2013 soundtrack for The Hunger Games Catching Fire, peaked at number 17 on the Hot 100, the Billboard Hot 100, and has sold 512,000 downloads. The video has been viewed more than 213 million times on YouTube. See You Again, which Khalifa recorded with Charlie Puth, has so far peaked at number 82 on the Hot 100, selling 88,000 downloads. Khalifa performed the song on The Tonight Show in mid-March. The Furious 7 soundtrack is at number 17 in its second week on the Billboard 200. The Voice is in its playoff round, and the Wednesday telecast will include the reveal of the top 12 contestants for Season 8. The current season of The Voice is averaging a 4.3 rating in adults 18 to 49 and 15.3 million viewers overall through its first 4 weeks, according to Nielsen's media research. And that is your entertainment report for Monday, April 6, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report and it'll take you to our page. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.